Hello, everybody.
Hello, dear.
I'm realizing I have to admit people, so hang in. Hi. Oh, look at these old friends and so beautiful. Hi. Hi, David. Wow, it's been a long time.
Indeed. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Hi, Julian.
Hi, Dori.
I still owe you your email. Thank you for sharing all that you've been up to.
Oh, okay.
We're all just gathering here, so I'm keeping an eye on the side here because I have to admit people.
Well, I'm not admitted. I mean,
What a wonderful turnout. You guys are like, I'm gonna start crying. Thank you all for being here. Oh. All right, here we go. Let's see if there's any more left to admit. Let's just wait another minute and see if we have people coming in.
Mike. I don't know why my face isn't coming up.
Talk about
Mike blocked. Mike blocked me.
He didn't block you. Where's he at?
He's in his office in the casino.
we can hear you, Mary and Pat, and
I know. I
We
don't
can't
know.
see you. I'm
But
sorry.
I don't know why I'm not coming up for video. I'm the one with the big white. Big white hat. And usually this is the iPad that I use when I come in, so I'm not sure why I'm not doing it.
no worries.
Well, I'm gonna listen anyway, so.
Well, just listen.
Yeah.
At some point, oh, and there's Jane. Nice. Hello, Jane, another beautiful soul from the past that I owe a call to. We'll be turning off. I'll be asking everybody to mute in a little bit, but for right now, we're just coming in. So here we go. Wow. I'm honored. Thank you all very, very much. Yeah. Okay, and some people will be on camera and some will be off, various reasons, but would love to see your faces if you're willing to be seen. That would be lovely. So let's see. I think we're ready to start. And I am going to try to keep this to 30 to 45 minutes. I know it's scheduled an hour or more, so you know that's a promise. Julia, hi. Nice to see you too. So many.
I had the video on, that's one.
Hi,
Dori.
Hi. Let's see. I might click on people to mute if you haven't muted already, because we're gonna get started.
Okay, I'm muting now.
Okay. Let's see if there's anybody. I'm looking at my gallery here. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think almost everybody is muted. I can't mute you, Hussam, so you'll have to do that yourself. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all very, very much for being here. Let me get over here and, well, yeah. Okay, let's do this. All right. So hopefully everybody can see this. I'll get into the right slide. Can you all see that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So just very briefly here, this is what you're here for, the rebrand launch party. And this is the rebranding of my business. And I really want to be clear that as much as I love my new website and it's beautiful, and I'm so excited to introduce you also to my dream team, this isn't about a website, you know, and just like in coaching, this isn't about the tool we use in coaching if we happen to be a specialist in a certain area. It's about you. It's about the people we serve. It's about who we're here to support. And and it's about the journey we're on together. And so I do want to make that very clear. I do want to say thank you to all of you for being in my life, for being who you are, for the various times in my life where we were together more intimately, perhaps, and where there was, we really had a chance to know each other. Dave, I remember being in my dining room nursing my son while our whole project team in our MBA program were working on projects. I mean, there's so much history here and so many beautiful people on this call. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I could not be here or have the life I have now without all of you in it. So I'm so grateful. Then I also want to thank Mandy McElraith, who's my virtual assistant and online business manager, who's been just crucial for this whole journey. Catherine Morales with Inflection Point Communications, who's helped me with my branding and with my messaging. It's been so stuck inside me for so long, and finding a way to finally articulate it has been invaluable. And Savannah Power, there's some videos in here and imagery, headshots. She has this beautiful company and she pulls out your core essence in her work, and you'll see that on the website. Danielle Ramos, who has her company Danielle Illustrates, who did all of the graphics, and she's absolutely one of the most talented people I've ever met. She listens to you and then translates it into beautiful imagery and messaging. And then Michael Wynn, who built the website, who's was up early this morning too, helping us with last minute stuff. And Michael, thank you. All of you, thank you so very much. Very appreciated. Yeah, so let's come back to each other and why we're here. So what I wanted to share is why rebrand? Why care about this? Why would any of us want to do this? I'm 61 years old. I could, retire and call it a day. I've had, a decent life and resource. So why keep on keeping on, right? I left corporate America back in 2002 after 20 years. And Jane was a big part of that process. She was the vice president at Right Management during my executive outplacement process. She was beautiful and has remained a friend. Thank you so much, Jane. And then I started a business a year later. My commitment was to be the anchor parent to our 4 boys while they were still school age. And our youngest is now 23. So there's space in my life for more. And I wasn't interested in just drinking rum and cokes and hanging out in the pool, although I love doing that with Michael, right, Michael, and with our friends. And you're all welcome to come visit anytime and float in the pool with us. For me, it was very clear that there was more, that I serve in my traditional roles, of course, as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as a mystery scholar, temple keeper, as a coach, but there was more. And I wanted to know that. And so as part of my growth and healing journey, as part of my learning journey, I've been on that journey. And that's what this rebrand launch is all about, is being on that journey to wholeness, to my core essential self, and helping other people on their journey similarly. Ooh, I'm like feeling all emotional, so bear with me. I'm a 3 on the Enneagram. I'm a heart center type, and I'm pretty in touch with my emotions these days. Okay, so there are 3 things I'm going to ask you guys to do by the end of this call, and I'm really hoping you will. I'll get to those in a little bit, but before I go there, I want to really spend a little bit more time on the rebrand. A moment to my deep longing. I feel like one of the biggest, okay, I just let in William Murray, and is this like from Duke University, William Murray? It's like so many blasts from the past. So let me come back, I'm sorry. Yeah. Whew. So what I've noticed, and what's been, I think, a chronic or a crisis in society, it's certainly been a crisis in my life, is this crisis of disconnection. that so many of us are longing for a sense of belonging, a sense of connection, a sense of meaning in our lives. And then when we have a world gone, total amok the way we're experiencing now, these questions, rise up largely. And for me, my journey has been about this journey to center, to wholeness, to essence, to that deep connection that comes, that alignment of head, heart, and body, and wholeness. And it's what I bring my clients to as well. So I'm here because I want to put a stake in the ground for that more broadly, beyond my own life and beyond even the work I do with our own children or with my clients or in my marriage, in my friendships, is I want to honor what I'm seated for. I want to be the messenger. One of my teachers helped me to see that the whole thrust of my life has been to seed awareness, consciousness, growth, deeper healing, love, help people connect again back to one another. And I'm committed to sharing my own journey to wholeness and to that, and to helping other people do the same. It's like I can't not do this. So I'm proud of this. I'm inspired by the journey. I'm thriving because of it, and I want to share that. And it's, I don't know, it's how I feel like I can leave the world a better place, how we can leave the world a better place. And so, yeah, so I'm walking in the gardens of my life. I'm making choices that nurture my soul, and I'm helping others who want to discover what they're seated for and to become the mighty oak that they can be and that they are. So you're going to notice as I take you into my website just a little bit, the symbology and the imagery, because most of us are so much more than the personal psychological lives we live. We live in the symbolic realm. We live in the elemental realm. We are forces. We are forces, and we're archetypes. And so I've really called on that to tell my story and to share and hopefully encourage and inspire people who want to be on this journey to wholeness more consciously, more actively. Before I go there, I want to read you a story. And I don't know if I can find it now on my my screen, so I have a paper copy. And it's a short story, but it's kind of gets to the essence of one of my core symbols, the acorn, and it gets to the essence of what I'm here for. And it's called Acornology, and it was penned by Cynthia Bourgeault in her book, The Wisdom Way of Knowing. Once upon a time, in a not so far away land, there was a kingdom of acorns, nestled at the foot of a grand old oak tree. And so I've got my little prop here, my acorn. Since the citizens of this kingdom were modern, fully westernized acorns, they went about their business with purposeful energy. And since they were midlife baby boomer acorns, they engaged in a lot of self-help courses. There were seminars called Getting All You Can Out of Your Shell. There were woundedness and recovery groups for acorns who had been bruised in their original fall from the tree. There were spas for oiling and polishing those shells, and various acornopathic therapies to enhance longevity and well-being. One day, in the midst of this kingdom, there suddenly appeared a naughty little stranger, apparently dropped out of the blue by a passing bird. He was capless and dirty, making an immediate negative impression on his fellow acorns. And crouched beneath the oak tree, he stammered out a wild tale. Pointing upward at the tree, he said, "We are that." Delusional thinking, obviously, the other acorns concluded, but one of them continued to engage him in conversation. "So tell us, how would we become that tree?" "Well," said he, pointing downward, "it has something to do with going into the ground and cracking open the shell." "Insane," they responded, "totally morbid." "Why, then we wouldn't be acorns anymore." What does it actually mean not to be an acorn anymore? For me, one of the universal truths guiding me is that we're all living in a time of deep longing, connection, belonging, longing for meaning and belonging. And what I know is true is that we can best honor that by pausing and turning inward. At a time when we're all often feeling so powerless, that's how we can be powerful. We can turn toward what's within and nurture that. We can let go of our cap, let go of our skin, and become the mighty oak that we are, while still honoring the lights we're already in. So as leaders in our own lives, both in the workplace and in the home, when we do this, in my opinion, we inspire others to do this. When we come home to ourselves and one another, we can feel connected once again. It's that thing that's missing that we think is all missing. So I want to take you into the website just for a little bit, and let's see if I can find it. And here we go. Can y'all see that? Hopefully.
Yes.
Thank you for telling me that. And you know, what I want to highlight here is that everything I stand for begins with awakening. It's all about creating awareness. Are you ready to awaken to your power, to your purpose, to your presence, and to being present, and to just letting it all be easier? It doesn't have to be as hard as it's been for so many of us. And what I want to highlight here is this imagery I was telling you about, this mandala. And what you'll notice is it's comprised of lots of pieces, and you can see the acorn in there, right? And you can see the symbol for the mighty oak. And then there's so much more. At the center of it, you'll see this moon image and sun image. And one of the things I stand for is becoming mature enough to be able to hold and be with the things in us that are equal and opposite, and the things outside of us that are equal and opposite. And to know all of these pieces and parts, and to then slowly but surely bring them back into integration and alignment, and to that wholeness. Part of our work is to shed all of the barriers to this, because we're already this. We're already this whole, solid, grounded, centered thing that this image represents that is also us. All of these symbols in here represent different steps in the journey of my program, Whole Person, Whole Power, which is a multi-year coaching program. It's a journey to wholeness. It's that inner journey. So, and there's layers and layers and layers of this. And I just wanted to reflect that symbology there in that. And there's the acorn, there's the oak, and then there's the garden. And the garden in my worldview in this imagery is all of those things that we are in our outer lives, all of the vehicles of expression and ways that we serve beyond ourselves in our outer lives, whether that's from motherhood to coaching someone, to running a company, to being a friend during a hard time, whatever role we play, that's the garden that we're cultivating in our outer lives. So now, where to go? So what I want to do is take you from here to, let's see, no, I'm not going to go there first. Let's do this. I'm going to go down here. Just a little bit, when you're going through the site, you can see these are some of the clients I've worked for in more of a corporate setting, where I do leadership development work, where I do team building, where we really try to get at how do we become a united front? How do we get on the same page? How do we bring more of our humanity back into the room and show up less compartmentalized and more present and with more facility as we move through our different roles and parts. I'll share with you a client story or two in a moment, but I want to take you now to values and vision, to this part of the website, to highlight that everything I do, and I believe it's essential for our leadership in the world, whether it's leadership in the home or in the workplace or the community, it rests on our values. And I wanted to highlight that I have a process that I invented for doing a core value sort that I do with all of my clients. And, whether you do that kind of process or you have your own process, I encourage you to know what your core values are, to really look at your life and say, to what extent am I aligning with them or not? And what one thing might I do differently to do that? These are my 5 core values, and you can click on these and learn more about them if you're interested. And I would love it if you would, and if you would share with me your own. Lastly, here, I just wanted to share with you my vision. And my vision for my work is, and for the world, is I imagine a world filled with awakened, conscious, and heart-centered leaders who are creating environments within and around them, at home and in the workplace, that make it possible for each of us to feel empowered and thrive. Leaders who've come home to themselves, their whole selves and whole power, and who continue to do their own inner work to know who they are, remember who they are, and become who they could be. That's my commitment. That's what I'm working on. And I'd love it if you'd join me. So let me go back here, go back home. Well, maybe before that, is there anybody who wants to say anything about that, or about, what you're noticing as I'm sharing these things? I'd love to hear from you.
Okay, I'll ask a question. Can you say more about the values work? Because from my experience of you, which has been over 30 years, I really think that the values work is extremely important and sets the foundation for everything that you do.
Thank you, Michael. That was my husband, for anybody who wondered. Yes, we're related. The values work, in my worldview, we're lost when we don't know what our values are. And it's one thing to have our family's values, our soccer team's values, our faith-based community's values, are the values that a lot of us say, like I value honesty or I value integrity. Well, we all value those things in one way or another. And they might be your core values, and that's important. What I'm talking about when I talk about core values are the things that make you uniquely you, and that if you're not aware of these, and if you're not honoring these, I promise you're experiencing unnecessary suffering. And you're probably bringing that to people you know and love without even knowing it. And so when we know these, we can more consciously turn toward them and align with them. And when it's hard to align with them, because sometimes our values are in direct conflict with one another or with other people that we care about, then at least we know, where the friction's coming from and why, and we can navigate that more consciously. So I don't want to spend too much time on this right here, but I hope that's helpful. One last thing I want to come to is in the client stories, you'll notice some statements from some of my clients, and some of you are here. I wanted to pull up something from Meg, where she wrote here. It took power and courage for Dori to pierce through many layers I had in place to try and hide from my true self, and to hold me to be my whole self. Too much heart and there's no growth. Too much piercing and there isn't safety. I've never seen anyone so masterfully hold both at the same time. I wanted to share this because it is one of the things that I think my clients, my friends have demanded of me, is compassionate demand. So there's the caring, and there's the loving, and there's the compassion, and there's the support. And then there's the rigor, and there's the accountability, and there's the responsibility, and that matters. And so that's part of it. And I think that's how we can be solid leaders and good friends and good partners to one another, is by caring about both. Again, that's the holding both, right? Any of my, there are a number of clients, former clients, current clients that are on the call right now. Anybody want to say anything? It's okay if you don't want to. We're shy.
Not yet. It takes a little bit to break the ice.
Yes, it does. That's okay. So what I want to do is just, let's see if maybe we go back here. And there's so much to look at, in all of these, my offerings are listed here, the coaching, corporate consulting, and speaking. There are lots of resources, lots of recommended reading, as you can see. I love reading. And more resources will go into the video library and the blog and article space. And then this is where people can go if they actually have an interest in the whole person, whole power work and want to start an application process. But I want to take you, oh, wait, we are here, duh. So I want to take you here and just briefly speak to this, what I mean by 21st century leaders and whole power. The world needs more leaders, period. And I call them 21st century leaders. And this is ordinary people like you and me who, in the workplace, in the home, in the community, who are willing to reclaim and own our power, to be powerful, to have a healthy relationship with power, and to use it well and in service of all the people we touch. And what do I mean by whole power? I mean saying yes to life and a deeper connection. I mean turning towards its complexities and depth and honoring those, and being curious about who and what you might find when you do. And I would argue that who and what you'll find is your whole self. What I want to highlight here too is this Take the Leader in Me quiz. And that's on the website, and it's a short quiz, and then you submit it. And then later, if you feel like it, you can share it with people, and there's some social media buttons there if you'd like. But I'm going to stop the share here and bring us back. And you're all still here, yay. I'm going to bring up one more thing quick, just to reference. If I can find it again, here we are. And back to that. So this is the 3 requests, if you remember. Go visit the site, spend some time on it, and see if some of it nurtures your soul, and let it be a place you come back to. I pride myself in creating safe and courageous space within myself, within my family, within my friend community, within my client relationships. And I'm hoping that this site will be an extension of that for you too. And then I ask you to take the quiz. And I think Catherine was going to be very kind and pop the link in the chat for anybody who wants it, or you can just go to the website and it's there. And then after you take the quiz, you're going to get 2 emails. One will have your results in it, which is just a reflection of what you put in the quiz. And then the other will have a PDF attached to it called the Leader in Me Quiz Self-Assessment Guide and Key. And I lovingly created that for all of you as a guide to think about the 3 leader styles that I've listed there. And to just begin your own inquiry, create some more awareness about how you lean as a leader, and what some of your strengths are, and where some of your growth opportunities might be, and have fun with that. And if it's meaningful to you, my request is that you share the results. And I'm doing a giveaway launch for the brand party. And so one of the items is this Hydrate Spark bottle, which is kind of cool. It lights up to remind you to drink. And you can also sync it up to your phone and all kinds of fun stuff. An Acorn bath bomb for those of you who like to take baths and to nourish your soul in bath time. And an Apple Watch, a Series 3 Apple Watch, so that you can continue your journey of self-care as you develop your capacity as a leader. So all of that is there. And that giveaway is going to be March 9th to 16th. So today through next Wednesday, midnight Mountain Standard Time. And let me come back to you all. So that's kind of fun, right?
Sorry, can I chime in? I just have to say, because I've been with you on this journey, and I don't know if Michael's also taken it. I got to take the quiz early, and I was a hybrid of a couple of leadership styles, but it was very cool, very enlightening. I think it wasn't, we're all used to taking quizzes like the ones on Facebook, right? Like the silly ones. Yeah, you did the foot one. I shared that one. That was really fun.
Yeah, I'm a tiger, I'm a cat, I'm a bear.
Yeah, whatever animal we are. But this is reflective of you, and it is a thoughtful quiz that allows you to be contemplative about the results. So I strongly encourage everyone to take it because it was enlightening for me.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I want to bring this to a close because I promised you guys that I would close the meeting, in 30 to 45 minutes. And so here, let me bring this back and just take us to this. It's nothing fancy, but I want to read a quote to you. It's one of many favorites of mine by Joseph Campbell, who, well, people say that what we're all seeking is a meaning for life. I don't think that's what we're really seeking. I think what we're seeking is an experience of being alive, so that our life experiences on the purely physical plane will have resonances within our innermost being and reality, so that we actually feel the rapture of being alive. So I'm going to open us up to the gallery in a moment, but I want to thank you for being here. Showing up is a big deal. It's like half the battle, right? Showing up. I'm going to go, let me get out of here. Okay. And thank you for caring about the leader within that you are, and for caring about how you lead in your life. This is an invitation for us all to be explorers again, and 21st century leaders, and turn toward our own inner journey to wholeness and embrace it, dance with it, play with it, have fun with it. It takes courage to look within and to trust that we're going to love and like who and what we find there. But if my history on my own journey is evidence, and I think that of many of my clients that I've worked with, and as I watch my children thrive, you'll be pleasantly surprised with who and what you find. Give yourself the gift of honoring who you are at the core of your being, and of being that kind of leader and role model in the world. It really does matter. You matter to the day you die. This is true. The world needs this now more than ever. More than ever. So I can't thank you enough, all of you, for being here and for being part of this milestone in my journey, and for helping me to celebrate. Take the quiz, share it, have some fun, and we're done in 33 minutes.
Do you mind bringing back the quiz address?
Sure, and it's also in the chat. Catherine put it in the chat, I think.
Okay, let me look at the chat.
I just shared it again.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Do you have it? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And I'm happy to stick around and visit, answer any questions, just say hi, catch up with people I haven't talked to in a while. But I am going to officially end the call now to honor the commitment I made, and I'll at least here stop the recording. Yeah.
If you don't mind, can you take a question